in Toronto when I took my son to see the Drake concert, the Kendrick Lamar concert in Toronto. I mean, and while we were there, you know what I'm saying, my friend, my homie that was with us, she was talking about how one of the girls on stage was a chick she used to dance with coming up. You know what I'm saying? She used to be heavy into the dancing. And she was saying that, she definitely would have been a pro dancer. She definitely was on that level while she was doing her thing. Ended up having a kid, kind of fell back from dancing. But seeing somebody that was right on her level, seeing somebody who she was like at the same level, might have been above that level, on the biggest stage, you know what I'm saying, on the international tour from one of the biggest artists in the world, was just like a moment for her that she's like, damn, like I really didn't, pursue my dream to the extent that I should have, so she felt some grief, some regret in that moment. We was talking about it in the car the next morning, and she was like, she was even talking about how she had an uncle that she said watched the NBA, like he always watched basketball in the dark, you know what I'm saying? And she like, they found out that he was watching basketball in the dark because he was crying watching the games because he used to hoop with Isaiah Thomas back in the day and made whatever decision and end up just not making it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I want to talk about today how like we always talk about the triumphant stories. You always hear those stories about the people that made it, but dreaming can be dangerous. I'm not telling nobody not to dream. I'm not trying to discourage nobody dream, but we do need to talk about how dreaming can get dangerous if you let your dream be your identity. When it comes to what are you gonna do if this doesn't pan out? How long are you gonna dedicate your life to this and miss out on life? Miss out on maybe building relationships, having children, building a family to chase a dream if that's what your dream requires. Or even if you reach your dream at the highest level, you might, nigga, if you get to the NFL, you 35 when it's over, you got a lot of life left to live. You know what I'm saying? You become a rapper when it's over and you're a regular guy, you go to St. Louis, Chinky, a regular nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do at that point with your life when you're a regular nigga and everybody running up on you? But it's like, damn, what happened to you? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, dreaming can be dangerous. And that's what we're gonna talk about today, man.
If you lazy, you waking up at fucking 3 o'clock in the afternoon and shit like that,
Popping bottles,
you're setting the tone for everybody because you're the leader.
popping pills,
That's just what comes with being a man.
popping bitch ass niggas.
I don't want nobody making decisions over my life except me. Not a woman, not a judge, not an officer, not no motherfucker.
When them bullets hit him up, look like son had a seizure. Run up, give it up, you know the procedure. I be sipping Jack and honey.
I don't think nothing can make me feel like a man. I don't think nothing can make me not feel like a man.
Chains on my collar.
You can't take the benefits of being a man without the responsibilities.
Give you niggas halos on God in the king.
Welcome back.
How are
Rose
you?
are dead. Terry Rosen.
I'm Jones. It's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be an excellent show. Happy Juneteenth.
Hell yeah, and it's Juneteenth. This is for the niggas. Strictly for the niggas. This for y'all.
Are we saying Happy Niggas Day? I feel like that's
No,
another
that's
ignorant.
wild. That's
I don't fuck with Happy Niggas Day.
Yeah, nah.
It's a little crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think Juneteenth is being celebrated as big as it's ever been. That's what we're gonna talk about in Patreon today, some Juneteenth plans. I don't know how the fuck Chicago became the Juneteenth destination nationally,
I'm happy
but it's
we here.
crazy. It's crazy. Like
I'm happy we here.
I know Memorial Day, Miami was always a thing. Houston is kind of a thing now for Memorial Day, but I guess Juneteenth, Chicago is the destination. So I'm fucking with that. It's a beautiful city. Obviously, summertime shines a vibe. So welcome in all of the newcomers, the visitors.
Don't tweak while y'all out here. You know what I'm saying? If you coming to Chicago, don't get finessed.
They probably know better than we know. They don't know better than we know, but they think Chicago worse than what it really is.
Yeah, so they gonna
motherfuckers
be
from out of
super
town
cautious.
be thinking this shit is like Iraq. Like it can be in certain areas at certain times, but it's not at the same time.
Nah, it'd be crazy because it be people who would think that, and you staying at the fucking the wit.
Yeah.
Bro, you don't have to worry about anything. Like you're fine.
Yeah, for sure. So actually today we just gonna jump straight into the topic because we finna go kick it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm not gonna finesse and try to make it seem like it's something else going on. We're finna go have a great fucking time for Juneteenth. So we
Indubitably.
finna, you know what I'm saying, jump straight into this topic, man.
Let's do it. I'm with that.
What's your initial thoughts coming into this topic?
This one is I resonate with it because we definitely hear the triumphant stories. You definitely hear the I started from the mud and I sacrificed this and that. It's a ton of stories and it's a ton of people with amazing talents, with amazing, minds or whatever, who didn't achieve their dreams, and they sacrificed, and we don't hear about those stories. And I almost want to say it's dangerous to even tell somebody like this right here, like the type of pod this is about to be. This, just as well as it's dangerous to chase your dreams, it's dangerous to make somebody even aware of what we're getting ready to talk about, because it can put because like to chase your dream. I just saw a reel today. It was Conor McGregor, and he was like, to chase a dream, he like, you got to be a little off a little bit up there. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a little delusional. You got to be a little, delusional to go after a dream full fledged. And honestly, that's truly what it takes to like achieve it.
Right.
And by you informing somebody of what could possibly happen if you don't achieve your dream, depending on the person, the fear of that happening could fuck around and be bigger than the thought of achieving their goal. So they might proceed with caution. And when it comes to dreams, you can't really proceed with caution. You gotta just boom, go full fledged. So it's tricky. It's tricky. So
I agree. I think it depends on the dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's ways where you can set your life up to where your dream is just not, you're not chasing it in a way where you can't pivot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this could exactly like somebody could listen to this now, like instead of going, I think Inky Johnson said he was like, even him when he was chasing his dream to be like a football player.
Right.
He was saying like, man, I had to like kind of not slow down, but be cautious, because like when you chasing a dream and think of it like a rocket, think about all the things it takes for a rocket to like, get in the sky. Like all the fuel, like 90% of the fuel type shit is used on takeoff. And
yeah,
you could burn a lot of shit up just trying to get to where you're going. And that could be relationships. That could be, and romantic relationship with your kids, other opportunities, a safety net, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of shit you gotta think about. But I feel like if we talking, if a 22-year-old, 20-year-old, 18-year-old, whatever, somebody in their early 20s hear this pod, I feel like they'll chase their dreams a little differently.
They might need to.
Yeah.
They might need to. I mean,
they do.
In reality, like just being realistic, majority of the people are not gonna accomplish a dream that's of a certain magnitude. You know what I'm saying? Like if your dream is to build your own company or something like that, I think that's a lot more likely than you going to be like the next Drake or some shit like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think most people's dreams are like talent based and things like that, especially in our community. So I do think it's important to let people know the reality of shit, and like and to let them know to always be ready to pivot and position themselves so they can pivot into a little bit. Before we go any further, some more shit I need y'all to think about is y'all fucking nails, man. Y'all nails. Get your nails cleaned up. And this is just for my guys and specifically, man. It's a company here that's ran by a woman named Rami. It's called The Original Gentleman. This company is geared towards men, manicures, pedicures, getting your nails together, getting your feet together, just getting cleaned up, man. If you over the age of motherfucking really 25, it's definitely time to start taking care of the details of your hygiene more. I know you got some cologne. I know you got some motherfucking Dior cologne, and you got a fucking haircut. But you got to start taking care of your hygiene completely, man. And your hands is a big part of that. I got tattoos on my hands, but also when I get my nails took care of, I get a lot of compliments on my hands from women. I think that's a big thing for them. So it's in the Chicagoland area. Is right on 1331 West 99th Street. The phone number to reach her is 773-291 6687, and it's just luxury tailored and a relaxing environment. The slogan is for him, through her, for us. You know what I'm saying? It's a dope situation, man. Raymond did your nails before too, right?
Plenty of times. For sure.
Okay. Okay.
Fellas, y'all know why women look at your hands? Because that's usually the first thing that's gonna, come in her vagina's vicinity. You know what I'm saying? If you got booty diggers,
For me, it's my mouth. Sorry. Go ahead.
You
though.
just going straight fucking yeah.
Go ahead though.
Yeah. if you got booty diggers, if you got them long ass nails and it's black underneath, like they envision you putting your hand down there. If you want to do the hand and tongue combo, your hands are just gonna be a part of the equation. And if they not up to par, she's not gonna be inclined to want to let you, do that. So hit up our homegirl. Go to the OG, man. Get your hands right.
Yeah, and a lot of niggas fuck themselves. I've seen too many niggas constantly complaining about how damn we have nobody to talk to and life be so hard. But then when I go tell you to go do some relaxing shit, like sit down in Raymond, get your nails done, you too tough of a nigga for that. So tough niggas live tough lives. If you want to be a tough nigga, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Do your thing. Like I'm gonna do some soft shit here and there and balance my fucking life out. So I ain't on the internet breaking, crying and shit, talking about how life is so fucking hard all the time. All right, that's that on that.
Yeah.
Back to the topic, man. Where was we at? So I think that a big problem of this shit is that you can lose sight of your identity when you chasing the dream a little too hard. You can start to disassociate with different parts of yourself that are also valuable because they don't add up to the dream. You know what I'm saying? You might have certain qualities you might be dope at writing, dope at math, dope at this, dope at that, but you're not buying into those qualities. You're not growing those qualities. You don't value those qualities because you're so stuck on being an athlete. You know what I'm saying? Being an entertainer, whatever the case may be, that you're not growing the other qualities. So what ends up happening is that you wrap your whole identity around this thing. And if it doesn't happen, you might chase it for too long. And this is the thing too, man. Like, I think it's a little more difficult for women and for people in entertainment in general, right? I always talk about how if you're an athlete and you put all your eggs in that basket and you don't make it, by the time you realize you're not gonna make it, you about 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You don't see no 30-year-old nigga still trying to make it to the NBA. Right. Like, you're cooked. You're done, and you knew you was done, right? And I'm not saying that to be an asshole, but in music and acting and dance, people will be 40. Like, niggas will still be going after it. And I'm not saying, it's like, at what point do you stop chasing the dream, right? It's no point to stop chasing it because if you only got to be right one time and it's over with. Mm-hmm. And we see all of the like, oh, well, Lucky Day is 40 and Snow Allegra is 35.
Morgan Freeman didn't get his first royalty. He was 52.
And the list be 7 niggas.
Yeah.
The list be 7 niggas, bro. But niggas be like, yeah, bro, I'm going to be the 8th. What you talking about? Out of the billions of people that didn't try, I'm going to be the 8th. And that's cool. That's a cool mentality. I can't down nobody for believing in themselves, right? But the reason why I point out women as well is because of the biological clock, unfortunately. Like, we know women who are in LA, they chasing things, trying to be an actress, trying to be a singer, whatever the case may be, and they not having serious relationships, and they not starting a family, and they not. Are you gonna look back at a certain age if this shit don't work out and be like, damn, I really passed up on building a life for myself because I was chasing this thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like people, when it comes to losing identities, that happen a lot with the athletes, like you said. That happen a lot with entertainers, but other people who, if you got a dream, and we keeping it to our community because that's who we talk to. I don't think a lot of us are dreaming to build the next Apple or like companies and shit, because those are a lot of transferable skills that you can, like, if that doesn't work out, you can go and still use those same skills, those same talents, and make a sustainable or even just a large income somewhere else and still be happy, whatever case may be. Cool. Yeah. But I do feel like it's a timeline on certain dreams. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a timeline on certain dreams, and you should go. I want to say, I don't want to name the timeline, but there is one. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There is one. Yeah. And if you burn that time up, I'm not saying stop chasing your dream. And when I say burn that time up, I'm not saying you was being wasteful. I'm not saying that you wasn't doing everything that it took to accomplish certain goals. That could have another thing that could have very much well not been in your plans. Like, you got to think about it, right? When we have dreams, our goals, a lot of the times those are our dreams. Like, people, I think people forget about the part where this has to be in God's will for you. Right. Like, you got your dreams and then you got God plan for your life. And a lot of times those two don't really align. A lot of times it do, and you may think it do because you're thinking about all of the success stories, but in the grand scheme of things, about all the billions of other people. Like the talent pool, the famous community, it's like a drop in the water compared to the population of people that's out here.
For sure.
You know, we can make it bigger than it seemed because it's always in the media. You see these people, whatever, but when you think about somebody's purpose for their life and their dreams aligning, that's a beautiful thing. And that's what we romanticize. Yeah. But if it just so happened that your time runs out, and when I say your time run out, your youth, you got to start thinking about, okay, if this doesn't work out, what skill do I have to fall back on where I can at least earn a decent living? Like, if you think about a rap career, if you think about an athlete, or any of those, anything in that family, you're not really building those skills that you could take into the real world that'll provide you.
You saying that left hand layup don't mean shit to nobody if you ain't playing basketball, bro.
You feel me?
No one gives a fuck that you
Nobody
used to have
cares.
the best. That's why you got to talk about it in past tense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you built the skill alone, you the coldest website builder, you don't got to talk about, I'm still the coldest website builder. I didn't build the next Apple, but I'm still the coldest at this shit. I'm still getting a check. I don't got to talk about what I was doing when I was 17.
You don't. And yeah.
Entertainment is tough. A big thing that you just said that I want to highlight is you talk about a gift and a purpose, which a lot of people kind of assume it's the same thing, right?
No.
A lot of people assume, like, if my gift is to play basketball, football, rap, dance, sing, then that's my purpose. That's what I'm here for.
Biblically, your gift will make room for you.
Okay.
Right.
I'm gonna let you have that.
I know.
Yeah.
So biblically, like in the Bible, it says your gift will make room for you.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Make room for you. You'll be okay. Like with your gift, somehow you'll be able to, create a life for yourself with your gift. I know a guy, not personally, and I don't know his name, but and I seen him build his following up over time. He had dreams to go to the NFL. He was one of the coldest corners. That's the hardest position in football. Coldest corners. You know what I'm saying? He didn't make it to the league or whatnot. And that was his gift. Like, he was just like abnormally good, but for whatever reason, he didn't make it to the league because you got fucking 0.72% chance of getting in that motherfucker, no matter how good you are, politics and all this other shit. Cool. But that was his gift. He didn't make it to the league, but he started training other cornerbacks. Like, he going to the schools, he going to the colleges. And long story short, he built a brand for himself where, like, the NFL cornerbacks, the top college cornerbacks are going to him for practice, to sharpen their tool. Like, that's an example of your gift making room for you. You may not be on the main stage, you know what I'm saying? But you could still,
set up the stage.
You can still set up the stage.
Yeah.
Another example, let's say you like being in front of the camera. You like being in front of the camera for whatever talent. It's a lot of ways and reasons to be in front of the camera. Let's just say you feel like that's your gift. You don't make it to be in front of the camera. You're not on the main stage, but you a co-engineer. You a co-producer. Like, you've been in front of the camera so much, you know about all the other things. And let's just say your time passed where you can't be in front of the camera no more. But now you in the background, you still on the set. And your gift is still being utilized, maybe to push somebody else forward, but you still within your gift. So your gift is making room for you.
When you look at the page of the guy who's the cornerback, right? What sets his page apart from every other nigga who got a football camp? Like, what is it about his page? Is he saying something inspirational? Is he, you know what I'm saying? Or is he just strictly coaching niggas? Is it, you know what I'm saying?
What's the good thing about, not the good thing, the thing that stands out that I've noticed, and I'm not even in the football world, people who go to him, like, it's his success stories. It's like the proof is in his pudding. Like it's a lot of coaches or whatever.
How is he selling it though? Well, this is what I mean, right?
Okay.
It's a lot of niggas who do fitness.
Yeah.
A ton of niggas who do fitness. And it's a lot of niggas who don't got, who page not popping. There's a lot of niggas who page is popping. When you look at the niggas pages that's popping, this nigga's funny. This nigga's physique is crazy and he only talk about abs. I'm just gonna show you how to get abs. And this nigga got crazy inspirational. I was locked up for 14 years. Now I'm home. You get what I'm saying? So it's like everybody got their secret sauce. And you could look at it and say this is a fitness page, but it's really not. Like it's really like you selling something with the fitness, and that's what's making this shit pop. Because every nigga on here working out. You get what I'm saying? So what's his secret sauce is what I'm asking.
It's gonna sound like it's not a secret sauce, but it's passion.
But you can see it by how he's talking.
You can see it how he's talking. You can like the way he's explaining the game to youngins. It's like I do this. Like I say it, and just based off how I'm saying it, you know, like oh no, like he know what he's talking about. And not only does it come off as all of this passion, when he teaches somebody a thing and they follow what he say, they better. Like I'm watching. I wish I could. I'm gonna find the name of his page. Like I'm watching these kids like do these little tweaks, and become raw corners. And they're going to these, you know, D1 schools and they getting the scholarships and all of that. And they wasn't before. They came to him, and now like it's these little things that you only would know if you mastered that skill.
And that's what because you're not a cornerback. You don't play football, but you watching this shit because of that. I'm assuming.
I mean, I was a corner in like flag football, and so that's what I was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I was the best nigga in the, you know.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
But no, that's what piqued my interest about that. But that's his gift. You know what I'm saying? So,
it's the passion. It's how to relate that, and I think that's what I'm kind of trying to get at when I talk about like gifts and purpose, right? Like I think for me, my opinion of purpose, my definition of purpose is using what you're good at to help other people. Like that's your purpose. Your gift is what you're good at. Your purpose is how you use that to help other people. So for example,
that's good.
You look at a nigga like Kobe and say like, oh, his gift was, I mean, his purpose was just basketball, right? But in reality, Kobe's legacy is Mamba mentality. So he used basketball to be able to teach people how to be consistent, how to be disciplined. He really like harps on that shit. He really, you watch his interviews, it's like, nigga, you practice one more time than everybody else. In 2 years, you're gonna be that nigga. Like,
yeah.
And he's like pushing this to the public for free. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could go be put up someone like Michael Jordan. He actually does these interviews and he's like selling this mindset to make other people successful. So that's somebody using their platform to get their purpose off. And you got somebody like LeBron who open schools, he do philanthropy. So he's using the wealth from his gift to help other people. You know what I'm saying? So you got the gift and then you got the purpose. I think that when you learn how to separate the two, it's easier to have a fulfilled life if your dream don't work out, because you was chasing the dream based on the gift that you had. But if you looking at this shit like, how can I use this to help other people? It'll be easier to have that mind state shift and pivot. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to make it to the NFL to help people through this gift. You don't have to make it to the NBA or whatever the case may be to help people through this gift. So some examples of that, even with us, when you talk about podcasts and you talk about the dream of being the whatever level podcast, it's just like we've been able to learn through over the years, like, okay, we're going to use this podcast to be a vehicle and we're going to extend other things off of it. You know what I'm saying? So we're using this podcast to, well, we built up an audience and then we switched it to something more positive when we switched it to Rose's Idea. It's like, okay, we're going to put out this message to try to help men think about different decisions they make and personal development a little bit differently. So then branching that off and using that platform to say, hey, single moms, if you got a kid who da-da-da, so then we create the village. So now it's like, regardless of where the podcast goes, the village can go wherever it wants to go. It's so many things. And just as a personal brand, as you as an accountability coach, like this is helping that. You know what I'm saying? Me as a youth advocate, this is helping that. So it's just like, when you think of it in a purpose manner, it's not just about making, it's not selfish no more. Because I think dreams are typically selfish. Like, I want to go to this level. But when you think about, I want to use this gift I got to help other people, it's a lot more gratifying. You're not worried about making it to the top of a fucking mountain. You know what I'm saying? And you still able to be successful, and you able to pivot and just do other things off of that.
I remember I was in a when I was in a business, and I had a goal to. I was like, man, I want to hit the 6-figure mark.
Mhm.
Right, I want to make 6 figures in a calendar year, as whatever. Right, and I had a mentor. They was like, that's cool, but like that's for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like, how many people can you help with this $100,000? Like
Yeah.
that's like a selfish kind of goal
Yeah.
or whatever. And their whole thing was, I would talk to a lot of successful people, all the 7-figure people who was making seven figures, like in that business. They all said like, man, I wished I would have dreamed bigger sooner, because it take time to achieve your dream. Like, it's gonna take time to get to 6 figures, and that same amount of time, if you was dreaming bigger, you'd hit the 7, and you'd have been able to help more people.
Yeah.
And they used to say, like, you got to dream big enough where everybody around you, their dream can fit inside yours.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to build, like, okay, you got this dream to make 6 figures, cool. What if you have a dream to, let's say a business owner? Like, okay, you got a dream to be a 8-figure business owner. You've achieved your dream, that little 100,000 you was trying to get, you got that. Now, other people who have talents and gifts, theirs can fit inside yours because it's so big. Now you can pay for them, and you know, all this other stuff. Just like dreaming big. And when you think about, I was thinking, I literally came up with this just now. It hit me. I'm gonna charge that one to God. Thank you for that. You got about, if you 20 years old, you got about maybe 3 or 4 opportunities to achieve something significant, because on average, it's going to take 5 years to achieve significant results. And within though, if you're 20, so from 20 to 25, whatever you choose, you got to go at it full-fledged. Like, you got to really pour into it. And it could possibly take 5 years for it to pop off.
Yeah.
If it don't pop off, I'm not saying the 5 years are wasted, but you still going to be 25 years old.
Yeah, and it's so many things that it's such a combustion and mixture of things that come into like making some shit work, especially on a dream that's not like pipelined out for you, like something that you go to college for, and then it's the next step and the next step and the next step. Because it's like you might be the most talented motherfucker in the world. If you're the most talented motherfucker in the world, you're gonna be fine. But you might be a super talented motherfucker, but you're not social, and it's the hand you didn't shake. Is the reason why you didn't make it till you was gonna go. You know what I'm saying? It's certain people I meet, and when I look back on everything that's happened up to this point, it's like, this person isn't responsible for everything that happened, but meeting this one person put me on the track that I'm on. Because they introduced me to that person, then I went to Philly, and then I met that person when I was in Philly. It ain't had nothing to do with them, but I was out there for them, and I met this person in Philly, then we went to this conference, and then this happened, and now we're here. But it was like off this one DM I answered. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So, and I could have been like, nah, I ain't got time for that, bro. I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that show. And
that's why they say leave no stone unturned.
Leave no stone unturned. Another thing I was gonna talk about with like pivoting and like having that mindset early. Carter wants to DJ now, right? My son, he want to be a DJ now. So he 10, and he was into music. He wanted to rap first, and I was explaining to him like, okay, if you want to do that, that's cool. Keep working on that, right? I was showing him what DJing. I was watching the movie Juice, and I was showing them when Q was DJing that movie Juice, and then I was showing them some other DJs on YouTube. And then we was going over like beats in the car, teaching him how to like count music and shit like that. And he kind of catches on the music pretty well. Like, we was listening to Hey Lover by Lil Cool J, and he's like, that's that Michael Jackson song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he be catching on the samples and shit. So I'm like, okay, cool. He into the music. So we went to the Kendrick concert. He saw DJ Mustard DJing. He swag surfed for the first time. So what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool. And he was like, okay, I want to do the DJing thing. So, but he still want to rap. And I'm telling him, like, even with that, I'm like, okay, cool. You should rap. But the value of learning how to DJ is that the rapper has to pay everybody, and he don't get paid unless he make it until he make it, right? Like, ain't nobody finna pay you to rap unless you that nigga. Yeah. Right? But as a rapper, you got to pay a DJ, you got to pay a videographer, you got to pay a photographer, you got to pay a goddamn producer, you got to pay a studio engineer, you got to pay all these people. But if you take one of those roles and be a studio engineer, be a videographer, be a producer, be a DJ, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could get paid because, nigga, a nigga make a good beat, he getting paid, right? I don't know if it's $200, $2 million, $2,000. Yeah. You getting paid immediately, and you building your way up and making money as you go, versus the talent is always the person who don't get shit unless it all work out in the end. And I'm like, you can do both, but you could set yourself up learning this skill And then if you want to, and then the skill is also gonna put you in different rooms. And I was explaining like Kanye West was a producer. He wanted to be a rapper, you know what I'm saying, and it ended up working out because he got in those rooms with the right people.
Unless you fucking Russ. Like,
Yeah.
I fuck with the rapper Russ,
Yeah,
the white boy.
yeah.
He's everything. He
Oh, yeah,
learned the
yeah.
business inside out. Like he the producer, he the engineer. Like he can do it all.
Yeah.
And now, like just all of those different streams of income is just funneling back to him. But
Yeah.
how many Russes are there?
Yeah.
One, as far as I know. I don't know too many rappers that know that know all of the ins and outs of their shit.
Absolutely. I think another big thing is just like when you have that dream, making sure you support your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because, or your spouse or whoever it is, because a lot of times somebody have a dream is an adult and you stuck between that rock and a hard place of like, let's say it's a girl who, I was just talking to a young lady who do nails and she got her own suite to do nails in. And it's moments where she like, damn, I'm losing money doing nails because I'm at work. But the work is the consistent bread. So even though I lost money today doing nails, if I quit my job, ain't no guarantee that this gonna be my everyday.
That
Plus I
fork in the
need
road,
health
the
insurance
motherfucker.
and da and all this other
Yeah.
shit. So for most people, the job is gonna win the battle. You know what I'm saying? Because it's consistent. And they not gonna take that leap. But if they had that bridge of support to say, I'm gonna make sure you straight and let you take this risk and put you on my health insurance and just pay the bills or whatever, whether that be your spouse, if you younger, it's your parent. But a lot of parents don't even be wanting to do that. Like a lot of parents be like, nigga, you better go get a job. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But like, motherfucker told me to stop boxing. Like my parents legit told me like, hey, you gotta stop boxing to get a job. You know what I'm saying? I quit boxing, got a job. There's a nigga I used to box with right now that's finna fight for a world title at 140. You know what I'm saying? And it's a nigga. Like I say, I'll never forget my pops we was watching Floyd Mayweather fight and they was talking about like, oh, he finna make $300 million off this fight. And they looked at me like, damn, why you quit boxing?
Bro.
I'm like, bro, what? So a lot of parents don't want to bridge that gap. You feel me? That's very important. But even like as a spouse, I think if you have a spouse, somebody you with, somebody you locked in with, I ain't saying, you know, like I ain't just saying do this for any chick. But somebody you locked in with and they really believe in what they doing, bro, it's no telling how far they could take that shit. You know what I'm saying? I think it's worth like giving that support and saying like, hey, just take that risk. Like, fuck it, I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's a study that showed people are more likely to take risk if they're in a loving, secure relationship. And so marriage is typically that, right?
Yeah.
The study was on babies, right? Babies take a lot of risk in front of us. They jump off a table, jump off a couch, whatever the case may be. But as they observed the babies, they saw that if the parent wasn't around, the child wouldn't jump off the table.
Yeah.
But if the parent is there, they'll turn around, look at the parent like, oh, he watching, she watching. Now I'm going to take this risk and jump off this table because I know I'm going to be okay.
Remember that little boy who flew off the top of the stairs? To the bottom?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you should never do that again.
Yeah. But it's the same thing as adults, right? It's like when we taking risk in business and taking risk with our lives, it's like you're a lot more likely to take that risk when you have a partner. You know what I'm saying?
This the thing, young people. When you think about chasing your dreams and everything like that, and I don't think people think about, I'm pretty sure they do. It crossed their mind, but you don't really do the math on that shit. Like one of my laws say, do the math. Kids. If you have a child in your early 20s, not gonna lie, like, especially if you a single parent, that dream is on the back burner.
Yeah, it
like
can be tough.
you can't go at it full throttle because you're not just responsible for you no more. You can't not have the job. You can't just, all right, I'm gonna just dance until it pop. I'm gonna just rap until it pop.
Yeah,
Your kid is hungry. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you have a village around. If you have a village around you, you could prolong it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A village that understands what you're trying to do and also believe in what you do. But just a lot of people, in my experience, just don't have that type of village around them.
Yeah.
And so that cuts your opportunities drastically.
Yeah, and I know everybody saw 8 Mile and you feel like your life gonna go that way. the reason why that was a big movie is because that shit doesn't happen. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, if that shit was happening every day, nobody would have gave a fuck about the movie. Like, niggas don't make movies about average days. You get what I'm saying? So, I just think that's something important to remember. Moving on to coping with what happens. How do you cope with what happens after the dream? It's either whether you fail or succeed, if it's over, right? When we talk about, like you said, like we not in our community, we're not dreaming enough about building the next Apple, building the next Uber, building the next big company. A lot of times we're dreaming about talent. Talent always comes to an end. It always does. So when it's over, whether you still have money or not, or whether you failed and you don't have money or not, you have to figure out who you are now. Mm-hmm. The space that you in, the money don't make that much of a difference of the space that you in. Do that make sense? Like Gilbert Arenas was saying that he was depressed at, like, he was like, nigga, I'm like 32 with millions of dollars. I'm waking up every day with nothing to do. Yeah. Like, I have nothing. So he's like, he crashing out. He buying prostitutes. He getting drunk. He's crashing the fuck out. And he fucking his life up. He fucking his money up. And it's like, they say on average, some niggas be broke after 3 years. It's an identity crisis. You don't know who you are. You don't know what to do with yourself. Yeah. It's the same thing with a nigga who was rapping who didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't that much different. I mean, it's the lifestyle, the luxury of the life is different, but how you feeling is damn near the same whether you made it or not.
The dangerous part, it goes back to like those, I was explaining where you got maybe 3 or 4 opportunities to make something pop, because it's going to take on average 5 years for it to pop, and you're going to be 30 real quick. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be 30 quick as hell. And by that time, typically a kid is in place. You need, and especially if you're a man, you need some form of stability. I don't care how you feel. I don't care like what the people who around you who love you, you're going to be looked to be a provider. And if you spent the majority of your 20s or all of your 20s or even some of your 30s like chasing this dream, this fad or whatever you want to call it, and you don't have nothing to show for it, that's going to fuck with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want to at least be go. It take maybe a year to go grab a skill. You know what I'm saying? It take maybe a year or 2 years to go just get something to where you could be an electrician and still go chase your rap career. You can fund your rap career actually.
You actually can, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think the problem is we romanticize entrepreneurship so much and we downplay jobs or 9-to-5s.
It's like what I look like.
You know what I'm saying? Until it pop off. It was, matter of fact, the boxer who fought, what's bro name? He nice.
Shakur?
Shakur.
Yeah, he's an electrician.
He was an electrician.
They was getting down on his ass too.
That was so crazy to me. Like, you let the electric, like, now it worked. It worked out for him. He was an electrician. He was taking care of his family. He had a wife. He had a kid, and just so happened an opportunity come up. Boom, secured. Now he can walk away from being an electrician because he just signed like a 7-figure deal or some shit like that. Like, you could do both.
Yeah, absolutely. Not easy.
Hell no.
But nigga, you got to do what you got to do at the end of the day. Where was I gonna go with this? Damn. Hold on 1 second. I think it's important. My therapist told me before, I was mentally exhausted, right? I was like in therapy for probably like 4 months or some shit. And she was like, she tried to put me on some medicine. I ain't taking no motherfucking medicine.
It was wild.
But she was like, she told me I was mentally exhausted. She was like, nigga, you turn everything you like into a business. So you can't enjoy anything. Like, you like podcasting, you want to turn that into, like, it's competitive for you now. It's like you got to reach these certain goals. You trying to get a deal. You trying to da-da-da. You used to box. That used to be your coping thing, your thing you kept to yourself, your thing where you felt the most like yourself, your escape. Now you coaching boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you doing it for money. So I think that it's important when you chasing a dream, and we going back to not making this shit your whole identity, is that you're basically making the thing that you love to do the most a business, a competitive. And you see so many kids even now. I see kids in high school, they get burnt. I was talking to somebody earlier today. My boy Zach earlier today was saying he was in high school. He was a cold baseball player. He was like, he just got tired of that shit. Playing all year round. You You know what I'm saying? It's competitive as fuck. It's like you just get tired of the shit. It's not fun no more. You know what I'm saying? And he just quit. It's kids at Simeon, you know, you playing basketball, nigga. If you make Simeon team, you most likely going to a D1 school to play basketball. It's shorties who just be quitting, G. Just like, I just don't want to do that shit no more. It's just too much. You know what I'm saying? And when you chasing something to that level, you make the thing that you love the most a competition, you can burn the fuck out and fall out of love with it. So it's important to have other things in your life that you enjoy that you do not compete at. You just do it because you like it. You know what I'm saying? Can it be naturally a competition? Like let's say you talk about flag football. Right. It can be naturally competitive, but it's not something that's consuming you. You're not waking up every morning like, damn, we gotta win this game Sunday. Right. Like now, nigga on your team might feel that way.
They do. Niggas out there tearing their ACLs for free.
You might need to just play in the lower league to where it's like, nigga, we out here to have a good time. We just out here with the guys throwing the ball around, and that's just a safe space for you. So you have an identity outside of this dream. Like you have to have something, not even just one thing. You have to have things that you keep to yourself. Join a fucking book club. Join a movie club, join fucking Roses I did Patreon. I don't fucking know, like right, like dude, join something that you could keep to yourself, and like you could find some peace in addition to this thing that you chasing that you just so relentless, savage, on go, foot on the gas all the time, stress the fuck out about. If that's all you got, nigga, if that shit don't work, you gonna crash.
I'm fortunate where my gift, even when I was a shorty, I'm talking about like a shorty. People would say like, oh, he got the gift of gab. Like the gift of gab, big personality, all of that, like extroverted, talk to people. Like I use that shit across the board. What the fuck is she saying?
I ain't say shit.
I use that shit across the board. I could take that anywhere. I've taken that in
I got no poker face into this.
No. I could take that in my dating life. I've taken it in my professional life, my business life, and it serves me in
single life.
Definitely single life. That's where you went. But no, I've taken that gift, and no matter where it is, it's serving me everywhere. It's not like I'm cold with the left hand layup. Like that only matters in that arena. Like luckily for me, my gift, whatever I focus on, it'll come out and it'll serve me. Yeah. So just you definitely you want to be. I don't want to say you want to be a Swiss Army knife because that's a lot of different.
Yeah. Another thing is we can, especially in the sports arena, we confuse gifts with skills a lot. Like nigga, a left hand layup, a cold crossover, a motherfucking like a cold swim move. You're a defensive lineman, crazy cold technique. If you the next Deion Sanders, none of that shit is a gift. Yeah. Those are skills. You was not born knowing how to do a left hand layup. You had to learn that shit. You got better at that shit than everybody. The gift was the discipline, the patience, the resilience it took you to learn that shit. That was the gift. But you lose sight of that. You know what I'm saying? If nobody's explaining that to you, if nobody's breaking that down to you, like you'll lose sight of that. Like we look at somebody like LeBron, like nigga, the gift was like the size, the strength, the speed. That's what that nigga was born with. All the other shit he had to learn. Yeah. And it's a big difference. And I think it's just important to be cognizant of that. It's this football player that I is one of my therapy clients. And he a high school football player, but the kid is dope as fuck in the classroom, personality all around. And we always talk about the lessons he learns from football. Cause he's somebody who he feel like, nigga, I'm going D1 for sure. Like he ain't got no doubt in his mind he going D1. And shit, you playing for one of the top programs in the fucking state. So I believe it 1,000%. They sending kids to Oregon. They sending kids to all the top schools, Michigan, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So, but he be so into like what he's learning from the game. So one thing he was talking about, he was like, man, when I was he was at another school, a smaller school, and they used to go downstate, but they would play all white kids in the playoffs. And he was like, I learned that like they not giving us nothing when we go downstate. No penalties, no calls, everything. So we gotta accept the fact. It can't be like, if this is gonna happen every year, it can't be like, oh, we would have won if the refs rule, and we coming home blaming the referees every year. We gotta say, bro, fuck whatever the referees do, this shit on us. They not gonna give us nothing, and we just gotta be more disciplined. We gotta overcome the shit, and we can't make no excuses. Because if we just get it in our head that it's because of the refs, we're gonna accept that shit before we get there, and we're gonna lose every year. And for him to be like 15 having this conversation with me, And he like, I take that shit in my life. Like, nobody gonna give me that. If I go in this classroom and the teacher don't like me, I still gotta pass this fucking class. Like, you know what I'm saying? We talked about, he was asking about practice, and he was like, I was asking him about practice, how, you know, summer practice is going, and he was just like, man, the practices are great. I'm like, what make a good practice for you? He was like, we going through everything good. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, like, why are those things able to happen? He was like, it's structure. Like, cool, it's a structure because the coach is a great coach. He got everybody in line, or is everybody just motivated to win and they listen to the coach? He was like, it got to be both ways. Like, the coach got to trust us. We trust the coach. Da da da. And I was like, okay, so how important do you feel like structure is? So we started talking about structure, and he was, again, structure in my personal life, right? He was saying, like, I made him a night routine. I used this reminder app, and I put, like, for them that every 45 minutes from when he get home, these are the things you need to do every night to be able to be on point for the next day. Whether it's some chill time in there, some video game time in there, but it's also, you need to do your homework this block and then just study for math this block. Like, you know, so this is all math because this is what you're struggling in. And he took it upon himself that when school got out, he redid that. He could have just let them reminders go off every day and just silence them bitches every night. Facts. Or he could have just deleted the whole shit because he out of school now. He took it upon himself to redo the whole shit because now he's out of school. And I was like, that's structure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really do value structure because you did it for yourself without somebody having to tell you to do it. So these are just the things that you have to realize when you have a dream, a gift, and all of that, is that the gift ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily the explicit skill that everybody sees. It's usually something that's behind that's making you, that makes it possible for you to do these special things.
Trey, you reminded me with Trey with boxing, right? Trey ended up quitting boxing. And Big Dog, his coach at the time.
Yeah.
He was saying, like, but this was before he quit. Like, he was just watching Trey spar. He was watching him practice or whatnot. And he like, yo, like, hey, keep him in here. Like, he has something in him that, like, I don't see in other kids. Like, he wanted to hurt another kid. And typically, like, the average human, just, you don't want to hurt somebody, whatever the case may be. And
it's tenacity.
Tenacity, right.
Yeah.
So even though he quit anyway, he has that. That might have been the wrong vehicle to use that gift that he had. Yeah. He had the gift.
The competitiveness,
the tenacity, like that switch flipped.
Yeah.
I remember, like, I it was dope to see as a dad. Like, I see he in there, he's sparring or whatever, and then that kid caught him with one, and the whole way he sparred changed.
Yeah.
That switch turned on, and now it's like, you know what I'm saying?
That flight or fight response was fight all the way. Yeah.
Fight. It was fight. So he has that switch. That just was the wrong vehicle. So that gift was there. Like, he could have learned the skill if he had the passion for that sport. He was gonna learn the skills later. He had the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? That'll take a fighter to that next level type shit.
For sure. I don't think we got deep enough into how to cope with the dream ending, did we?
No, not at all.
Didn't. Okay, cool. So we're gonna have to do that in Patreon. Advice for boy moms this week. I think that it's important to teach your son that your dream is not your identity. Really understanding who you are is all about understanding, like, what your character is, what builds up your character, what makes up your character. I had this mentor when I was in college who used to ask me, "Who are you?" when he saw me, and it used to annoy the shit out of me because it's just like, nigga, I'm Terry. You see me like every fucking Saturday. Stop asking me that shit. He like, "Who are you?" I'm Terry. Like, nah, that's not who you are. That's just your name. It's like, all right, this old nigga just talking. Like, cool, whatever. It used to blow me. And then he was like, one day I used to shoot music videos. That was my hustle in college when I first got there. So I had an answer for him. He like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm Terry Matthews. I'm a music video director. And when I get back to Chicago, I want to be the coldest music video director in Chicago." That's what I thought I was going to do at the time. He's like, "Oh, that's good. That's good. But that's not who you are. That's what you do." You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? And what I ended up learning is that who you are is the things you do in the dark, right? You walk in a room, it's more money you ever seen on the table. Nobody would know if you took it. Nobody would know what happened. Nobody knows you was ever in that room. Whatever you decide to do is who you are. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can't hide bad character behind success, money, or fame. You are who you are. And it's a lot of people, a lot of young guys, young men who are being more pushed to figure out what they're gonna do than to figure out who they're gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You think about whether you're gonna be an electrician, whether you're gonna be a doctor or this or that. It's like a dishonest doctor, you know what I'm saying? A shiesty electrician or whatever the case may be, ain't no good anyway. So it's like you need to really be figuring out who you gonna be as opposed to figuring out what you're gonna do. And there's so many people, so many adults who feel like you could separate your personal life from your professional life, and it's not true. Like it always bleeds. Like Hector was just talking about how you got niggas like Antonio Brown, one of the greatest football players that ever lived, didn't get bad at football, got bad at life, took him out of football. Tiger Woods got bad at life, took him out of golf. You know what I'm saying? Shannon Sharp making bad decisions in the dark, shit came to light. We can talk about Tory, we can talk about Diddy, we can talk about whoever. The shit you do, these people are great at their careers. They're great at what they do. They accomplished the dream. You know what I'm saying? But the things that they did in the dark ruined their career. So at the end of the day, it's just important to figure out or to realize that if you got integrity, resilience, loyalty, discipline, good work ethic, you're gonna be successful regardless of what you decide to do. So your dream is not your identity. Like your character is who you truly are at the end of the day, and that's what's most important when you're chasing anything.
That's funny. It was a nigga in my high school who he didn't annoy me like you every day, but he definitely said that to me one day. It was I was at CVS, another side of the school, whatever. Yeah, he asked me that shit, and I was like, I'm Reggie. Like, and I said it proud too. Like, I'm Reggie. He was like, nah, that ain't who you are. I was like, oh, I'm Reginald Jones. Like, no, nigga. So yeah, but now for A&P, calculate the risk when it comes to like your dreams. We think about even me. I think early on I thought about all of the positive, like what's gonna happen if this happens, if this pays off. Calculate and really give yourself scenarios. Okay, if this don't work out and I'm not able to, provide for my child, if this don't work out and I'm not here in my life, you don't think about that. If you're okay with that, go ahead, chase your dreams. Me right now at 34, I'm not about to pick something because I'm not about to go full-fledged, fitness.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to chase a fitness career right now. I'm just not. Because I know what it takes to achieve significant success, and I'm calculating the risk. I'm like, I'm not willing to trade off, a nice package of stability for the possibility of being like a dope 6-figure fitness trainer. It's just the risk versus reward. You know what I'm saying? My timeline, I'm not gonna say is up. Well, you can always chase your dream. I could circle back on some of the shit I like. I can go make a bunch of money somewhere else that's like a more for sure and double back on, I'm saying, some dreams. So just calculate the risk and like early on. And even if you shit my age right now, if the risk versus the reward, if you willing to risk some of the things that's gonna come with chasing your dreams, go for it. If you're not willing to risk some of the things, pivot and double back on it later.
Absolutely, man. All right, that's that for the main show. We finna slide into this Patreon, man. We appreciate y'all checking in with us as always. Keep walking with us on this path to improvement. Decide, plan, sacrifice.
Oh, shoot.
It's all God in the king.